I'm Chef Nicole Roarke and welcome to Chef's Tips. Right now I'm going to give you a chef's tip for citrus. We have citrus such as lime, lemon, oranges, and also pink grapefruit. I love citrus. It's actually seasonal in the winter on the East Coast, but you find citrus available to you in the Southeast as well as the West Coast. Citrus is very flavorful as far as the juice is concerned, but we actually get more of the citrus flavor from the zest itself. Citrus zest is the outermost colorful edge. So that would be the most yellow of the lemon, most green of the lime, and so on and so forth. We have a few tools that we can use to zest citrus. So I'm going to show you how we can zest citrus using a microplane. Microplanes are best used if you leave them flat and actually take the citrus and just roll it gently down these micro teeth. As I'm rubbing the citrus against the microplane, I'm just rotating it slightly. When I say that the citrus is the outermost colorful edge, be very strict about that fact. We want to make sure that we're only removing the brightest yellow and not getting down to where it becomes white. When you get to the pith of the citrus, it becomes very bitter. So we seriously just want to get that beautiful yellow color. It's full of lemon flavor, and we can use the zest for practically anything. Sauces, salad dressings, drinks, whatever the case may be. So the microplane works very easily, as you can see. Other than the lemon and other than the microplane, I'm going to show you how we can zest a lime. This is actually known as a zester. All right, this is a tool that you can purchase. You'll see that as opposed to the microplane teeth, we have a ton of them along the plane. The zester only has 5 teeth right here. So what you're going to do when you're using this tool is actually just position the zester on the top of the citrus, and I just scrape down in a circular motion. Again, those teeth are really sharp and shallow. So you're just removing that outermost colorful edge, just removing the brightest green that I possibly can from the lime. I wish you can smell this. You smell the aroma from the citrus. It's bright and sharp in flavor, and it's going to lend a lot of taste to cakes and pastries as well as savory. You'll see that there's a difference in zesting between the microplane, which is very fine, almost snowflake-like, compared to the zest using the zester, where we have long curls or strips. Either way, you're going to achieve what you're looking for. The next tool that we can use to zest, and I'll show you this with the orange itself, is I'm actually going to take what's known as a French peeler. Our French peeler is a vertical peeler. I'm going to take this peeler and again run it from the very top of the orange to the bottom. Obviously, this is going to give me very large strips of zest. If you were going to submerge these strips into a drink, perhaps, maybe you wanted to infuse some orange flavor into a sangria, you can place these large zest strips right into the red wine itself. I can infuse this flavor into stocks, and again, just throw the zest right in. If, in fact, I wanted to end up with small curls, then I would just take this zest, flat on my cutting board, grab my chef's knife, and go ahead and slice that into some beautiful thin strips, the same thing that we would achieve from the zester. If I wanted to take these strips or curls and turn them into a product that I can get out of the microplane, again, I would take my chef's knife and just go ahead and mince them or rough chop them very tightly. A few times with the knife. And now we have some beautiful snowflake-like pieces of orange zest. So those are a few ways that we can achieve that zest. Other than zesting the citrus, which gives it a ton of flavor, I'm going to show you how we're going to supreme this citrus. Supreme is a fancy way for saying segment. So this is a way that we're going to be able to take this segment, or just the fruit itself, the flesh of the citrus fruit itself, and remove it. without getting any membranes, any pith in there. It's a wonderful way to juice the citrus. We can crush it up and put it into salad dressings, desserts, pastries, savory, etc. Once I've removed the zest from the orange, now I'm going to begin to supreme it. Again, supreme is just a fancy word for removing the segments of the orange. I'm going to place the orange on its side, grab my chef's knife, and just remove the top portion of the orange. I'm removing enough to where I can see the flesh of the orange itself. Again, I'm going to turn it over and remove the bottom part of the orange. Enough to where I can see the flesh. Now I'm going to stand it on its flat side. I'm going to take my chef's knife and just begin to slice down the edge of the orange. You can see that you want to expose that flesh and remove all of the membrane and or pith that's underneath. It looks a lot easier than it is. It takes a little bit of practice to hold your knife in a curled fashion. Truthfully, I pretend like I'm revving up a motorcycle. It's that same exact movement. Cut the whole way around your citrus, removing that outer skin and that membrane until you have only that flesh. Now what I'm going to do is I'll place a bowl underneath the orange because I want to capture all of that juice and all that flesh into the bowl and not onto my cutting board to waste it. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold this orange in my left hand. I take my chef's knife, and what I'm going to do is cut into the citrus to the left of this membrane right here. Take my knife and make a slice in like that. I'm now going to curl my knife upward, removing only the segment or the supreme itself and leaving behind those membranes. I continue to do this the whole way around the orange. If in fact you slice in and you have difficulty removing that orange without pulling out the membrane, then you can take your chef's knife and make another cut until you meet the second. Again, once like this, and we're going to make another cut till we meet in the center. We continue to do this the whole way around the orange. Now, once I remove all those beautiful segments, at this point, all this membrane has all this captured orange juice. So I take that and give it a good squeeze. You can see that I've obtained about 1/4 cup of fresh orange juice from what otherwise would be known as scrap or garbage. We're going to discard this. And again, you can see we have this beautiful orange segment. There's no membrane on either side, so I'm going to use this, in fact, to crush up and throw into a vinaigrette. We make a beautiful orange vinaigrette with this. We can use it for desserts. All right. I'm going to show you that one more time. This time I'm going to do it with a lemon. Lemon on your cutting board. Use your chef's knife and remove that top portion of the lemon. I haven't cut far enough to where I'm exposing that flesh, so I'm going to do that one more time. Take off another ring. There, stand it on its flat edge, grab my chef's knife, and begin to cut in a curved fashion, removing all of that pith. In other words, all that bitterness from around my citrus fruit. Now I'm left with all that beautiful lemon. I'm going to go ahead and grab another bowl. I've started some lemon supremes earlier. Hold my lemon over the bowl, grab my chef's knife, begin to insert and curl out. This is a wonderful way to make lemonade. Instead of just juicing your citrus, at this point I'm extracting all this wonderful flesh, which can be muddled or crushed or blended. And so not only do I get that juice, but I get that fantastic lemon flesh. And if I've zested my citrus ahead of time, I get all that wonderful lemon flavor. All right. And that is how we supreme citrus.